Hey bitches, it's Heather Ryan coming to you from Des Moines, Iowa.
And Blythe Potter from Bargersville, Indiana.
And this is another episode of Bitches Get Stuff Done.
Woohoo! Hopefully I don't sound like I have a list this time. Most of the time I do with this mic, but I switched rooms, so we're trying this out.
Most of the time with this mic, I just sound like I'm in a cave. So we're even.
We'll figure this out. One of these days we will get great equipment.
You know, by the time we're to 10, we're at 9 now. I think we'll be good to go, right? It only takes 10 podcasts, right?
I don't know, man. We've spent almost 20 solid minutes trying to figure out audio.
I hope it turns out okay. I'm going to be really disappointed if it turns out like crap.
Well, you know what? Our entire country is turning into shit, so it'll just be par for the course.
You know, I have to agree with you there. It's the what? We're 6 weeks in?
I don't know. It feels like 6 years.
Oh my God. And it's going to crap so fast. It's hard to keep up with all of it.
I feel like we need to invent a new word. And I love etymology and I love words. But historically, there cannot be any precedence for this much shit happening this quickly. And it's not even hypocrisy. I don't even know what to call this. Because if the tables were turned and Biden had done literally anything that Trump has done over the last 6 weeks, mutiny.
Yes.
Things on fire. Like, I can't even fathom what they would have done.
Well, historically, of course, it did not take long for Hitler to take over. Okay. He took over and everything was consolidated into his power within 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's 53 days, wasn't it?
Right.
That's right. You're right.
He didn't have such incompetent idiots working for him. And Jesus Christ and a saltine cracker. I mean, this signal gate seems to get worse and worse by the minute.
It is. I cannot wrap my head around this because I feel like, you know, we both have been to basic training or boot camp and we've met some really fucking stupid people.
Yes.
There are some really not necessarily their fault, ignorant and stupid people in the military.
Yes.
But holy shit. Like, the number one rule is you don't text this shit. Like, you don't use personal cell phones. Like, this is not something you do without a sat phone and like really secure net. Like, we know.
Yeah, the stupid people that I met in the Navy were not in charge of the Navy. They were in charge of something like a gun and they were a meat shield or something. You know, they were not in charge of important stuff that can get other people unalived.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck?
Well, and speaking of unalived, have you heard that there may or may not be 4 U.S. soldiers in Lithuania who might be dead?
I just heard on the way home on NPR that they have been confirmed as dead.
Okay. Well, Trump had no fucking clue that they existed about an hour or so ago.
Oh my God.
Oh, maybe we should talk about that beforehand. I don't know. Ugh. That just makes me want to vomit.
I don't think there's a whole lot of information out there. They haven't released the names of the service members, and they haven't released exactly what the training incident was. So there aren't a lot more details. They just confirmed it on NPR when I was heading home this evening. So
they think it was a training exercise that had gone wrong?
That's what they said, yeah. Whether or not that stays the case, I have no idea. But I trust NPR, you know.
Oh, I do too. I was trying to get caught up before we did this, and I had heard... Earlier, I heard they were dead, and then I heard that Trump didn't know about it and that it hasn't been confirmed that they were dead because Lithuania was still investigating it. But that is freaking horrible. That is just so horrible.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that Trump doesn't know. That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, he's so stupid. He's so stupid. You know, I went to Iraq under Bush, baby Bush, and I just know that it wouldn't have been handled this way.
Yeah, and Bush was incompetent. I really thought that Bush was a moron.
That was nepotism. He won because of daddy. Like,
money and daddy.
Yeah, money and daddy. And when I was in basic training, we were doing our night fire. It's a live round night fire. Mm-hmm. And I was in the middle of low crawling, terrified, literally scared to death because there's like bullets going over your head. And all of a sudden, Drill Sergeant Kleinholz, one of my most feared drill sergeants who happened to also be from Muncie, Indiana, and knew how to pronounce my first name, starts running with the ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. One of our drill sergeants got shot and killed during that night fire.
Oh my
God. Malfunctioned. Yep.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
It was horrible. Horrible. So to think that this happened during training, ugh.
Bad stuff can happen during training. That's why your training is so that bad things won't happen, but you never know. I was in the Navy, but we didn't do guns. I was a typewriter for the Persian Gulf War.
Oh, I'm jealous. I should have done admin.
I didn't want to do admin. I
didn't either.
Airman. I didn't want to. I mean, I did not take typing in high school. I did not want to be like traditional military female. I was an airman, and I went in it wanting to be an Airedale, but they didn't let women on aircraft carriers. So unbeknownst to me, when I went in, there's no opportunity for advancement if you don't have those opportunities to be on an aircraft carrier in the Navy.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's not that long ago. That's what's crazy. It's not that long ago. People think, oh, women have been in the military and equal forever. We have not, and we are not.
I went MP because that was as close to combat arms as you could get. Females can be, well, I don't know that we can now. We could be combat positioned as an MP, but not as infantry. You couldn't do like any of that. And then I think recently we could, and now we can't.
Yeah, go back to where we were when I was in the service.
There is Politics Girl podcast, the one that she dropped yesterday. You should listen to it. They have a naval general. I cannot think of his name to save my soul, but he talks a lot about the history of people of color and women in the military and how much we have historically served our country. The first American killed in battle at the Boston Massacre was a black man. Like I think it was 1770. He said, so yeah, like, of course he didn't do it willingly. Right, of course. He was told you are doing this, right? Right. But it's a really great podcast, and he's got some really cool words, and he's a naval general, like totally worth listening to.
If we ever get this whole technical thing worked out, we will have guests on as well.
Oh, yeah. This would be a mortifying night to have had a guest on.
Oh, God, I would have died. 20 minutes later, we're still not
Sorry, up. I don't know that I hit this button.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. I'm competent. I swear I'm not Pete Hegseth. I know technology.
Or any of the other people on that text string. Everybody.
Being on a thread as the vice president or Tulsi Gabbard, any of them. And wouldn't you maybe perhaps scroll through the contacts to make sure you know who the fuck is on your thread?
You would think so. I would think so. Yes, I would think so. Apparently
when we, with the no small acts, that's one of the big things we vet people. And if people aren't, you check your threads regularly, messages get deleted regular. Like there's things you do, right? And this is using Signal. Oh my God, I just can't. I can't.
To be fair, the reason they're doing this is so that there will be no record of them doing any of this. And that's why this is illegal, because you have to have documentation so that you have to answer to Freedom of Information Act. Yep. And that is 100% why they're doing it this way. It's 100% why they're going to continue to do it this way, because they're breaking the fucking law.
Yep. The party of law and order doesn't have to follow their own laws. And it makes you wonder too, what else have they done? What else is on those Signal threads?
100%. Absolutely. This is just one little oopsie poopsie.
Little.
And this is just one person that we know of. Who can say whether or not they've inadvertently added other people to other strings? Who knows?
Who knows? Or if spouses, a Signal app, my husband could guess my PIN for my Signal if these people even have their PIN set up.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
And we're not even talking about the fact that these people were in other countries, one of whom was in Russia, potentially in the Kremlin at the time. Dude, your mic just went out.
Oh, no.
Okay, now you're good now. You're good now. I think maybe it was bringing your volume down because you were screaming or something.
Sorry. This is just such an obvious... it's just obvious, right? They need to be resigned. They need to be impeached. But also, like, what other jackass are they going to put in their positions if that happens? Fucking JD Vance was on that thread. Get rid of him.
I have been actually theorizing this since the jump, is that Kim Reynolds, my governor, and our our Attorney General, Brenna Byrd, have been positioning to be in the Trump administration since day one. And I've always said they're not his first choice, but maybe his second or his third or his fourth, because he will end up firing people. He never takes responsibility for anything. At some point, this is going to blow up so much he has to put the blame on somebody, and he will fire them.
Yep.
So I would not be surprised if someone takes the fall for it. Right now I'm thinking Tulsi Gabbard, and then he's going to have to replace her.
I mean, she's already perjured herself.
Of course. But, the national intelligence, right? That's her job, right? National fucking intelligence. Oh, God,
I know. I just can't. So we've got that. TikTok ban is still in place. Nothing is happening there. The car tariffs are going to be increased on April 2nd on all assembled vehicles coming into the country. Cool. The DC Circuit judge denied the injunction that the Trump administration requested regarding the Alien Enemies Act. So I'm sure they'll just continue to ignore it and people will continue to do nothing because that is apparently what we do.
That's the scary thing to me. Once he starts really ignoring the wishes and the demands of the courts, then we are 100%, we're done.
Someone has got to step in and do something, and I don't know who that would be. That's all I got for national news for the day.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who that would be. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going
Supreme Court, military? What was interesting is, and I did not know this because I was not an officer, I was enlisted. So when you take an oath as an enlisted soldier, you take an oath to abide by the Constitution and follow president's orders. Officers don't have to do that. They are our fail-safes. And that is what he mentioned in this. And if I knew that, I had forgotten. I've been away for a while. So now we really need to be urging our enlisted military, our commissioned officers to stop this and to intervene and to, I don't know what this looks like, but they might be our only option now.
But remember, he fired the JAGs. The JAGs are the ones that interpret what the UCMJ means and what the Constitution means and how the two jive. So
but JAG doesn't run, well.
They do. Those are the officers that interpret what the Constitution means and how it.
But we know what I feel like.
I know,
firing
right?
them doesn't mean they cannot consult with them because then that makes them civilian prior JAG.
Who's going to consult with them? The new JAGs, the ones that he placed in by hand?
I mean, if I were a fired JAG officer, I would be connecting with any officer I possibly could. Be like, you need to reach out to me if you get unlawful orders. You need to say something. You need to do something. Because now they can speak up. They're going after the military saying they can't speak out against the president, which no one cared when they were doing it to Biden.
And
now they would have the opportunity to.
Now they have all these extremists who are allowed to be in the service, whereas before, if you had extremist views, you could not just be in the service. Like if you outwardly were extremists, like with the stars and bars, tattoos and stuff, they would not take you. Yeah. I guarantee you, dollars and donuts, they take them now.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I was just telling you this before, there was an incident up here in Iowa where an extremist came up from like Mississippi or something, Louisiana maybe, and destroyed the Baphomet statue at the Iowa State Capitol during the holiday season. Because the Satanic Temple had put it up, hey guys, if you can have a Christmas tree, if you can have these Christian and pagan symbols, we're going to put up a Baphomet. And I honestly didn't even know what a Baphomet was until they freaked the fuck out here in Iowa. They freaked out. So this guy comes up and destroys it. Well, he was in the service. He was in the Navy. And so he gets in trouble with his command during the Biden administration, and his command is putting him to mast. And apparently somebody somewhere decided, oh, that's okay. It's fine. We don't have to worry about him being an extremist. Because he was in a lot of trouble. He was like court-martial kind of stuff because he was the definition of an extremist. Now, just today, I think maybe yesterday, he was released on all charges. So he's A-okay for being in the service still. That's terrifying.
It is, and that reminds me that Trump did sign an executive order, basically the SAVE Act. That you have to prove your citizenship, to vote.
And this is something else, is that these things don't mean shit. He can sign those all day, every day. They don't have any legal authority. Why are we treating them like they do?
Because it's a scare tactic too. Like here in Indiana, Mike Braun, the day before the election, sent out a mass text across the state saying that we know how you vote. So if you don't vote for me, we will know. That's not one. It's not true. Two, I'm pretty sure that's not even legal. But some people not paying attention or knowing what you and I know, hearing this executive order, they might be like, well, I guess I just won't vote in that special election on April 1st.
Absolutely. Intimidation tactic. And then making it harder to vote absolutely makes it so that people can't vote or won't vote.
Yeah.
It's the little things, and people don't think about it. This is the little things, like having to have your ID. Not everybody has the opportunity to go get an ID. My mom was elderly by the time she passed. There's no way we could have gotten her a new ID.
Yeah. It's terrifying. Although there is some good news that reminds me of, there was a special election in Pennsylvania. Senate District 36 flipped blue.
I saw that. So that gives the Pennsylvania, was it the House or the Senate, by one vote?
I think it was Senate. Now it's state, so not federal.
Right. That I knew.
But
it makes a difference.
It makes a difference because now the Dems have control of definitely the Senate. I can't remember now if it was both. It's only been a few hours, but I don't remember.
Do they not have a trifecta in Pennsylvania?
I don't know. I am ignorant on Pennsylvania politics, and I did not think to look it up before.
Well, I know the Dems have one of the houses.
Where are our researchers at? Where's my notes?
We need a staff.
We can't afford to pay you, though. We don't even pay ourselves.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Total shit show. What's happening in Iowa?
Well, they're passing just a ton of really bad legislation here right now, and I'm sure that it'll go nationwide. It's not like we come up with these bills. They're just bills that we get from like Heritage Foundation, and they just write Iowa on it. So let's see. They're still trying to outlaw books. That's a thing that's still happening. Court just came back and said, no, you can't outlaw these books. So some of our House members, like Skylar Wheeler, he's such a turd. He put on Facebook, we need to just start ignoring these judges. And of course, he's getting that from Trump. But it just blows my mind. The balls on this mofo is unbelievable.
I would get banned from Facebook for saying that. Like 100%. I'm already about to be. I am shadow banned on TikTok. I have 2 more strikes for having opinions and writing out that this was my opinion and for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, that's just one thing. They've got all kinds of stuff coming down the pike. Of course, the cell phone ban, but the cell phone ban in schools only applies to public schools, not private schools. Why? I don't know. But also, since they did away with most property taxes and they're lowering the state income tax, then the taxes are just decimated. So that put together with the school voucher scam, we have no revenue at all in the state. It's just killing the revenue here. So
it makes me sick.
Our economy growth here is nil, absolutely nothing. And of course, they're targeting all of these ICE is targeting all the immigrants here, and they made it illegal for local police and sheriffs to disobey ICE orders, and they're deputizing all of the police and sheriffs into ICE. It's just like any possible way we can oppress people, we do it here.
That sounds a lot like martial law.
Oh my God, yes. That's why when my bank account keeps getting frozen, I'm just suspicious. I
would be too.
This is too weird. If you're listening to this and you don't know this story, this is the 3rd time today. Today was my 3rd time going to my bank and saying, hey, why is my debit card not working? I need to do this or that. And they don't have an answer. They just don't know. And then they have to issue me a new card. I've had like 4 cards now. It's crazy. I've never had this problem before. But now you've got Doe's poking in around everybody's bank information, and you've got a fascist state government here. I don't even know which one it would be. Or if it
All
is
of the above. I mean, it could be all of them at this point. Florida is apparently trying to relax their child labor laws because now with all of the illegal immigrants, who most of them aren't likely illegal, are gone, they don't have people to work.
Yeah, they're taking a page out of our book. We did that first. Yeah, so now
we got rid of work permits for youth completely. And this was a couple of years ago because I'm a business owner and I would have to sign off on these work permits for our high school students. Completely gone. I'm pretty sure we lowered some standards too. I just cannot remember them off the top of my head.
I know ours. You can now work in construction if you're 14 to 15. You can work in mines, M-I-N-E-S, mines. We don't have a lot of mines here, but they do have like quarries and stuff. I think that counts as a mine. You can work with guillotine shears in a meat packing plant, and you can work on the kill floor of a meat packing plant at the age of 14 and 15. Unbelievable. Because those are the shitty jobs that immigrants normally take. So they just lowered the ages. And
those jobs traumatize the fuck out of people.
Oh my God, yes. You've got little kids working in cleanup overnights and then going to school the next day, like 10, 11, 12-year-olds working in a packing plant. It's unbelievable. It's unconscionable. But they just turn the other cheek. No big deal. It's all good.
Are you really going to be able to make it 4 years of this?
I don't know.
I don't either. It's terrifying.
I'll be protesting Kim Reynolds as Kim Reynolds on Friday at University of Northern Iowa. So
that is awesome. I love it.
Some entertainment, right? Hi, Iowans. It's your mother.
I'm trying to set up Fakesy Banksy for Jim Banks. He says he doesn't need to go to town halls because it's only liberals complaining. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to be a drag king. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to do a tour of the state with it too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. So with my donate earns, I'm going to go to all of the different places in Iowa where we have chapters.
Nice.
And do one at each of those places.
That's so exciting. All right, so we do have a call to action, a national one, which will be a little bit of a waste of time because I did this and neither of them worked. But you can call the House Armed Services Committee federally, 202-225-4151. When I called, it just kept ringing, as well as the Senate Armed Services Committee at 202-224-3871. Their mailbox is already full of voicemails to demand independent prosecutor to investigate everyone involved in this week's national security breach for potential violations of laws on classified information, which I'm sure they won't do. Still worth doing, I think. And to demand that Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, and Michael Waltz are resigning their positions. I think anyone who is on that thread needs to be impeached or fired or be forced to resign because they are all complicit. They are all adults. They can all read a fucking thread to see who is on something that sensitive. Here in Indiana, the Sparts Town Hall on Friday has a location change to the IMMI Conference Center at 18880 Northeast Street in Westfield. No handbags and no signs are allowed either Friday or Saturday. I just sent out that email if anyone listening is on my email list. So, and then we did set up a Hoosier Bitches Get Stuff Done Zoom meeting this Saturday at 3:30. If you need the link, just email me or message me wherever, and I'll get it to you.
And of course, April 5th is a National Day of Action, so make sure that you find out where your local one is. Even though it's 50 states, 50 capitals, one day, they're happening all over the place. We have at least 3, maybe 4 of them here that off the top of my head here in Iowa. So if we have that many in Iowa, I assure you, wherever you are, you have one pretty close to you too.
Yeah.
Of course, April 2nd is my birthday, so I have all kinds of tariffs put in place on my birthday. Yay.
Happy birthday. Don't buy a new car.
That won't be a problem. I think we're working on that.
Can you still hear me?
I sure can.
All right.
Yep. So That's pretty much it for what I have today. Did you have anything else in parting?
Nope. April 5th in Indianapolis. I think there's some other ones too. I will do a better job of looking that up. It's definitely noon, all 50 states, local time at the state houses. But I have a feeling Evansville, there are going to be some more around the state of Indiana too. So,
are you familiar with the TikTok creator, United States Marine Corps Angry Veteran?
yes, the furry.
Yes.
Yes, I love. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of hair.
Yeah, I knew
Yes.
that. He is going to be at the Mason City Day of Action on April the 2nd or April 5th. I was going to go to the Des Moines one because I was supposed to speak at that one, but I'm like, oh no, I'm going to go to Mason City now. Thank you very much.
Yes. Oh my God, you have to get it. You need to DM him and try to make sure that you can set up time, like even beforehand, just to get a picture or something. That is amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
That chapter did that entirely on their own. Like, just said, hey, I'm going to contact this guy, and they're flying him in and everything. It's very impressive. We really have fantastic chapter leaders. I'm very impressed.
What? That is amazing.
Agreed. Oh, if you're listening to this and you want to start a chapter in your area, by all means, go to our website at cked.org and click on you want to start a chapter or get involved in a chapter. But it's so exciting, isn't it?
That is super exciting. Yes, and Indiana, we need more chapters too. I do not have a monopoly on those, so join.
Yes, join, start, get active.
Yep. That's all I've got.
Okay, so we're recording on a Wednesday night. We should have it up by Thursday. We'll record again on Sunday. Should have it up on Monday. We started doing this twice a week now because there's just too much shit. So as soon as it all slows down, then we'll start doing fewer of them. But I'm just not holding my breath that it's going to slow down anytime soon.
It won't. And if you happen to be watching this, review this anywhere that you're listening to it and share it, even if it's just clicking the link and be like, hey, I like this podcast, send it to us. You can send it to your Signal text threds that you love, put it on Facebook, wherever.
That is 100% true. Yes, you can share this on Signal. Headsets. I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. All right. Wonderful.
With that, we'll see you next week, guys.
Yay. Bye.